The 2026 Champions League Final brings us to the Puskás Arena in Budapest. We have defending champions Paris Saint-Germain facing an undefeated Arsenal squad. If you look closely at the math, there's a massive disconnect between how the betting public views this game and what the algorithmic models predict. The current bookmaker odds heavily favor PSG. They lean hard into the narrative of Paris Saint-Germain's star power and their chaotic, high-scoring attack. But when we run the numbers, the story shifts. This split-screen scorecard compares the bookmaker implied probability on the left, giving PSG about a 60% chance, against a 10,000-run Monte Carlo simulation on the right. The simulation actually gives Arsenal a 53.8% chance to lift the trophy. To understand why the computer model favors the underdog, we need to look past top-line odds. By isolating 5 tactical matchups on the pitch, we can see exactly how these teams interact. If you want to find actual betting value here, you have to prioritize objective data over public marketing hype. Let's break down the evidence. We start with Luis Enrique's offensive philosophy at PSG. He commits heavy numbers forward and relies on rapid, vertical attacks. This functional comparison matrix shows the result of that system. PSG scored a tournament-high 44 goals and averaged 2.75 expected goals per match. That aggressive posture comes with a severe trade-off. They conceded 22 goals to get to this final. Mikel Arteta built the exact opposite at Arsenal. He relies on rigid, team-wide positional discipline and a highly organized low-to-mid defensive block. Look at the matrix for Arsenal's outcome. They are on a 14-match unbeaten streak with 8 clean sheets, conceding a microscopic 6 goals. The trade-off is lower offensive volume. They scored about 20 goals, meaning they must maintain absolute defensive concentration for 90 minutes. Single elimination cup finals usually suppress total goals. The pressure is high, and teams play tighter. In that environment, Arsenal's low-variance defensive efficiency is perfectly suited to neutralize PSG's high-variance chaos. The first critical tactical duel happens on Arsenal's right flank. Bukayo Saka lines up against PSG's aggressive Portuguese left-back, Nuno Mendes. This pitch map isolates the right flank. Mendes steps up rapidly to stop Saka from cutting inside. By pressing up, he vacates the half space behind him, opening a gap for an Arsenal creator to make a late run directly into the box. Over on PSG's left flank, there is a second critical duel involving their explosive January signing, Ficha Kvaratskhelia. Arsenal counters his threat by asking their right center-back, William Saliba, to hold a deep, disciplined line rather than stepping out to apply pressure. Holding that deep line cuts off the space behind the defense. It neutralizes Kvaratskelia's lethal diagonal runs toward the goal. This pitch map of PSG's left flank shows the trade-off Arsenal accepts. They gladly concede possession in wide, non-dangerous areas, allowing the winger time to cross or shoot from distance. By willingly conceding low-percentage wide spaces, Arsenal's tactical setup suffocates PSG's primary method of penetrating the penalty box. The third duel is a fight for tempo control in the central engine room, anchored by Declan Rice. Arsenal will aggressively press PSG's young tempo controller, João Neves, to sever his passing supply lines to the wide forwards. The risk here is massive. If PSG bypasses that press, their forwards instantly gain a numerical advantage and can run directly at Arsenal's back four. Our fourth duel pits Arsenal's physical target man, Victor Gyökeres, against the veteran PSG center-back pairing. Using Gyökeres as a relentless pressing forward forces Marquinhos and his defensive partner into uncomfortable physical duels and rushed clearances. The fifth and final tactical dynamic is the tension between set-piece vulnerability and counter-attack pace. Arsenal targets the 6-yard box heavily on offensive corners to exploit the PSG goalkeeper, Matvei Safonov, who has a proven reluctance to catch incoming crosses. Committing those heavy numbers forward into the box leaves Arsenal highly exposed to devastating counterattacks from Ousmane Dembele. To win these central duels, Arsenal has to execute an incredibly taxing game plan. They must maintain their structural integrity through physical exhaustion for the entire 90 minutes. This outcome probability graph displays the Monte Carlo exact score distribution. The simulation heavily highlights a 1-1 outcome at 14.2% and a 1-0 Arsenal outcome at 12.8%. It explicitly predicts that Arsenal's defensive structure limits PSG's high percentage chances. For the value bettor, backing the Arsenal money line or the to-lift trophy market holds highly positive expected value. Bookmakers applied an artificial star power tax to PSG's odds. That creates a lucrative market inefficiency if you follow the computer model. For the risk-averse optimizer, our checklist targets the under 2.5 goals market. Both managers are heavily incentivized to employ conservative opening tactics. That strategic caution drastically suppresses the chance of an early shootout. Finally, for player prop bettors, backing an Arsenal center forward or center back as an anytime scorer directly synergizes with PSG's proven vulnerabilities defending set pieces. Do not let PSG's massive 44-goal tournament tally blind you to the realities of a single-game, high-pressure environment against an elite defense. The data and the tactical frameworks converge on one conclusion. The Invincibles of Europe possess the exact defensive blueprint required to grind out the ultimate victory in Budapest.